One well, part 3. Access to the well. Some families are lucky. They can turn on the tap for drinking water, to fill a bathtub, wash their car, or water the garden. But other families around the world are less fortunate. 1 billion people, almost 16% of Earth's population, have to walk more than 15 minutes to get to the nearest water supply. There they gather water for the day, just a few jugs, barely enough for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Other families don't have access to enough water to meet even these most basic needs. While the amount of water on Earth is always the same, the distribution of water across the world isn't. Huge differences in rainfall can happen from country to country and even within the same country. Less rainfall means less water available in lakes, rivers, and aquifers. Sometimes there just isn't enough water where it's needed most. Because water is not evenly distributed across the globe, nearly 1/5 of the world's population does not have access to enough water. Many of these people live in Africa and Asia. Some facts about water distribution. A bucket of water weighs about 10 kilograms or 22 pounds. Imagine if you had to carry a bucket or two from a well to your house every day. North America has 1/3 of the population of Africa, yet North Americans use 3 times as much water. How is this possible? Nearly 300 million people in Africa do not have access to enough fresh water. There is simply more fresh water in America than Africa. China and India are home to over 1/3 of the world's population, yet they only have access to 1/10 of the world's fresh water. So that distribution, where water is not equal on the Earth's surface. Demands on the well. Here are some facts about demands on water supply. By 2025, many experts predict that 1 out of every 4 people will live in a country that is short of water. By 2050, 4 billion people may be living without enough clean water. Another fact, every day all the world's livestock, cattle, sheep, pigs, goats, and chickens drink the equivalent of more than 160,000 large tanker trucks full of water. Lastly, we need more and more water for crops and livestock in order to feed Earth's growing population. 7,324,782,000, give or take a few. That's how many people there are on Earth, and that number is growing every day. More people mean a greater demand for water, but this growing population isn't the only thing putting a strain on our water supplies. The average person today uses about 6 times more water than 100 years ago. A growing population also means we need more space. As towns and cities grow to accommodate all these people, they gobble up land, which also affects nearby water. Houses, buildings, and roads sometimes take the place of wetland habitats where animals live, which puts species at risk. They also change the way rainwater, lakes, and streams flow, and pavement and concrete block rainwater from refilling underground water supplies. There are more of us, and our demand for water at home, in industry, and in agriculture has grown tremendously. But all the water we have is all the water we ever will have. There is no more water now than there was 100 or 1,000 or even 10,000 years ago. And there will be no more 100 years from now when the population may be closer to 10 billion. We need to find a balance between our demands for water and the amount of water that's available to us. Pollution in the well. The water cycle helps keep the Earth's water clean. As water evaporates, minerals, chemicals, and dirt are left behind. The water vapor that rises into the atmosphere is relatively clean. When rain falls back to Earth, some of it is filtered through rocks and sand and is further cleaned. Even plants play a role. As water travels through them, plants remove chemicals in the water. Then they transpire clean water back into the air. But more and more waste from industry, agriculture, and homes is getting into the water. Runoff from backyards, city streets, and farm dumps dirt and chemicals, such as pesticides, fertilizers, and detergents, into lakes, rivers, streams, and ponds. Pollution in the atmosphere from cars and factories mixes with water vapor in the air. The rain that falls pollutes surface water and groundwater. Our actions may be overloading water's natural ability to clean itself. As more water becomes polluted, there is less clean water available. Nearly 80% of all sicknesses in the world are caused by unsafe water. And wildlife suffers too. Water pollution threatens the health of many species and habitats across the planet. Because of water's self-cleaning powers, the effects of pollution can be stopped and quite possibly reversed. But to do so, we need to reduce the amount of pollution that gets into the water. Here are more facts about water and water pollution. Water dissolves more things than any other liquid, so in nature, water is never really pure. It almost always has something dissolved in it. Wetlands are nature's water treatment plants. They absorb chemicals and filter out pollution and waste. Every day, 1.8 million tons, or 2 million tons, of garbage are dumped into Earth's water, enough to fill more than 15,000 boxcars. Boy, that is terrible. Finally, when pollution in the air mixes with rain, it can turn into acid rain or even acid snow. This acid precipitation can fall thousands of kilometers or miles from the source of the pollution, even reaching remote areas such as the Arctic. Saving the water in the well. Water has the power to change everything. A single splash can sprout a seed, quench the thirst, provide a habitat, generate energy, and sustain life. It also has the power to unite or divide the world. Water is the most basic and important need of all life on Earth. But Earth's one well is in trouble. There's simply not enough clean water to go around. Taking actions to conserve water can help save the well. Conserving water means protecting both the quantity and quality of water on Earth. For example, using less water helps prevent water sources from drying up, and reducing water pollution protects the overall health of the well. Water conservation can help ensure there is enough clean water for everyone on the planet. By becoming more aware of how you use water and by using less, you too can protect the water in Earth's one well. Remember, every drop counts. So this clearly connects with the stories we read about Wangari Maathai and Jane Goodall and their efforts to take care of our Earth, and then also your essay in which you wrote about actions you will take to help protect your Earth. And so conserving water can be done at home very easily. Wonderful book, great information. Moving forward, we have to do our best to turn things around and use water more carefully.